Hi everyone, so it's been Valentine's Day this week, and so everyone on YouTube is talking about love, so I figured it could be a good time to share my experience of what it's been like to learn a language for love, or as I would rather say, learn a language because you love someone, because I'm not really doing it for my boyfriend Max because he wants me to do it. I'm doing it because I love him and we're in a relationship. And also, had he not come along, I wouldn't be doing it, and if we were to break up, I would probably stop. So that's what I mean when I say learn a language because you love someone. There are a lot of positives to learning a language for love. For example, I always wanted to learn a second language, but I couldn't stay committed and I couldn't stay motivated, and this is the first time I've been able to actually get somewhere with it because I'm with him. Also, I think that being motivated by career or school is a lot of motivation, but I think for me, being motivated by love is so much more. What I'm going to share is my personal experience. It's going to be different for everyone, so I do encourage you to share your experiences in the comment section below, and it'd be super interesting to see like other points of view on this experience. So I'll start at the beginning. When I first met Max, I was very impressed by his level of English, and so I was super inspired to try again to learn a second language. And as French was the language that I sort of learned a bit of at school, I was most familiar with it, and I figured I'll learn the language quicker if I already know some of it. So I started learning French again. Also, I think probably in the back of my mind I was thinking, oh, if I run out of things to talk to him about, or if I want an excuse to contact him, I can use the fact that I'm learning his language. So I began with Duolingo mostly because it was free, and I thought I would probably stop learning the language after like 2 or 3 weeks like I did with all the other ones, so I didn't really want to spend too much money, but I ended up doing Duolingo for about 4 months. So when we actually first got together, I was already learning French. So there was no sort of conversation of, I think you should start learning French, or you need to learn French, or anything like that. It was something I was already doing, and I was aware that if I was going to go visit him in Paris, I would need to know probably some French to get around. And also I knew that not all of his friends spoke English, so it would kind of be useful to know some phrases in French. So when we decided to get together, Max had a look at Duolingo with me, and this was about 2 years ago. There were a lot of errors on Duolingo 2 years ago, and also the voice on it was extremely robotic, and so we thought maybe there's a better program for me to learn French on. And that's when we discovered Babbel, and Max actually gifted me the first month of Babbel because I was a bit like, oh, do I really want to pay, because we've only been together like a week, you know, maybe things aren't going to work out. But he gifted that to me, and that was much better. Also, this is another positive, is that we were able to do it together. So it was an activity that kind of bonded us in the early days, was him teaching me his language, and that's something really nice to do that you can share with your partner. But one interesting thing that I found was that my motivation to learn was entirely dependent on how I felt about Max. So on the days where I was extremely optimistic about the relationship, I was doing hours of Babbel, I was really into it, and I was focusing all this like obsessive energy towards something really productive, and this is something you should make the most out of if this is where you are right now. This is a great period. I did loads of learning during this time because I was so excited and hopeful for the relationship, and I just directed all of that into learning French, and I advanced really quickly. But then I also found that during the times where I was a bit more doubtful about the relationship, like, oh, are we really right for each other? What did he mean when he said that? And I thought, you know, if you're not going to reply to my text, I'm not going to learn your language, and things like that. So my motivation was really like this, like loads of Babbel, no Babbel, loads of Babbel, no Babbel. And I think that consistency is key when you're learning a language. So it was a bit of a struggle when my motivation was entirely dependent on how I felt about him, but I don't think it was that much of a problem. It was all right. But another interesting thing that I found was that it doesn't matter how much you love your partner, if you don't find languages interesting, it will still be boring. Because I thought, you know, oh, I'm so motivated to learn, I really want to learn French, I really want to enjoy it, but it was still boring. It is still boring. Only it doesn't matter how much I love him, it will still be boring. So the next thing that happened was when I was getting ready to move to Paris for 4 months in the summer, I thought this is a great opportunity to get some like formal French lessons in a proper language school. And I spent ages and I found the one I wanted, and it was quite expensive. It was like 700, 800 euros or something, and I saved up all this money to do it. Now, we had lived together before, but not for quite that long, and there was still a thing of, you know, I hope it'll be alright, I think it'll be alright, but maybe we will hate each other and I want to go home. But for this language course, you had to pay all of the money up front, a month before the beginning of the course, I think it was, a month before. And there was no refund available. So if you ended up not even showing up for the course, or you ended up wanting to leave because it was rubbish or something, there was no refund at all. So I waited until the last day to pay this, because I thought, you know, wow, you know, I really don't want to lose 800 euros. So I started the course and I met all the people. I think I did a couple days, and I also bought all the books, which was even more money. And then we had a massive argument, and I was like, oh my God, you know, I don't think I want to be with him, so I don't want to stay in Paris if I'm not with him, because it will just remind me of him, and I don't want to learn French because what would be the point if I'm not with him? So I thought, oh my God, I'm gonna lose all my money. And it was the first time there was like a potential social humiliation, because I thought, wow, if I leave the course, I'm gonna have to tell like language school, oh, I'm leaving because I broke up with my boyfriend, or I'll have to tell the people that I met why I'm quitting the course and things like that. But it actually ended up that everything was fine. We made up like the day after, and I finished the course and everything was fine. But the next thing that happened was sort of a similar thing, but on an even larger scale. So the next thing, when I went back to England, there was the opportunity that I could learn French as part of my degree program. Now, I'm not doing a degree in French, but they sort of offered these kind of off-topic classes that you could take. Now, I thought this is a great opportunity to continue learning after I got back from France, but the problem was all of the courses ran from September to June. And I thought, wow, if I break up with him in October, I will have to continue learning French until June, being reminded all the time of the breakup and the time that we spent together in Paris and all this stuff. And also because Max helped me a lot when I was learning, I thought, wow, I don't think I can learn it on my own. And I didn't want to fail my degree because of this French course. All of my other years of work would have been thrown out the window, and I would have had £27,000 of debt or whatever it is for no reason. So I was very like, oh, I really don't know whether this course is a great idea. In the end, I decided not to do it, and I think this was a really good decision, because I think just that anxiety alone probably would have damaged your relationship. Every single time there was a little bump, like, oh, he leaves his clothes all over the floor, or maybe I can't be with him forever because he never does the washing up. In the back of my mind, I would have been thinking, oh my God, but I'm gonna have to continue learning French all these months, and I'm gonna fail my degree if I don't do it. So I think it was a good idea not to do the course. And that's kind of where we are now. Obviously everything's fine. We recently made a video together. You can see how happy we are. And this is by no means negative. As I said, I would have never got this far. I would have never achieved these things had I not been with him, and I'm super happy. There are so many advantages. For example, he can help me a lot for free with my language learning, and I have a native speaker on hand a lot of the time to kind of practice and speak whenever I feel like it, and this is clearly beneficial. And so yes, if you enjoyed this video, do leave me a like, and do leave in the comments below kind of what you think, or if you're going through similar things. I make videos on my channel about language learning, so if that's something you're interested in, do also consider subscribing, and I'll see you all next time. Bye bye!